Welcome to Your World Within Daily. I'm Eddie Pinero, and in this episode, I'm going to talk about commitment and a guiding principle that I use to help me decide whether I want to spend precious time and energy on something. So good morning. I'm about to play you an excerpt from Your World Within Live, where I talk about the idea of commitment. And essentially the point is, there are so many things in life that we kind of do, that we're kind of involved in, that consumes our time, but we're not all there. It's more obligation than impact. And it's a quick way of summing up the point that I think peak living, I think where we should aim our target is to either be all in or not at all. Right now, life obviously is not that black and white. You can't only do what you want to do, but there are certainly things we do every day that consume our time, that are in our control, that when we really think about it, they don't add value to the end game. They're not pushing us forward the way that we'd like to be moved forward. And so that's what this is about. Kind of a metaphor about looking at those things and asking ourselves, do we want to have a toe in the water, or is it all in or nothing at all? And hopefully that helps, shape the way or allow you to take a step back and look at some of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, and do more of what serves you and less of what doesn't. That's what it's all about. So without further ado, here is the video from Your World Within Live. Commit. The only limit to your impact is your imagination and your commitment. The fence is for losers, right? That's a harsh way to put it, but that's the reality. Is things get better when you look at life from a binary standpoint. You either want it or you don't. And if you want it, why wouldn't you go all in? And if you don't, why would you touch it? I can't tell you how many times I've been, one toe in the water, and it's like, why? Do you want this or not? First time I heard this, freshman year in college. And it was one of those things where I always thought I worked hard. I always kind of jumped into what I was doing, and I wanted to get good grades, and I invested in what I did. But I realized that I didn't quite grasp what it meant. And I walk up to the student center, and I'm looking around, and there's a flyer, and it says Holy Cross D1 men's rowing. And I'm like, yes, this is perfect. I can make friends with like-minded people, stay in shape. This is amazing. And I go up, and there are 73 people there, walk-ons. And what I didn't realize at the time was that they don't make cuts. You either quit or you don't. In senior year, when we graduated, 4 walk-ons were left. And we always joke about it because it's not like we were far more talented or we had this superior skill set. We just committed to the process. We committed to the ups and the downs and the trials and the tribulations and the difficulty. One of my first practices, you guys know what a rowing machine is, the thing in the gym, you sit down, you pull. Pretty straightforward. You pull, it tells you exactly how hard you pull. That's it. And so I'm sitting there, we're doing 5 sprints, 2,000 meter sprints. And I'm suffering, just going a world of hurt. And after the second one, I get up and I go to the bathroom, I'm throwing up, I have a headache, I'm dizzy, and just feeling so sorry for myself. I'd never experienced anything like that before. This is all new to me. And eventually I get it together and I go down, I sit on the erg, feeling like a hero. It's like, all right, I'm back. And I sit down, grab the thing, and the coach walks up next to me. He goes, it's Eddie, right? Yeah, it's Eddie. He goes, yeah, that score won't cut it. And walks away. And that was not a nice thing to hear, because I always associated suffering with paying the price, right? How could I be going through that type of punishment and have someone respond that way, right? So we start the piece, and now I'm like, I have something to prove, and I'm just ripping the thing as hard as I can and just not in a good place, and he comes up again. I'm like, all right, good, right? Now he understands. He goes, look, Eddie, I don't know what you have to do mentally. I don't know what you have to do physically, but you gotta figure it out. And that's where it occurred to me, showing up isn't enough. Being in pain isn't enough, because the guy from Georgetown you're racing on Saturday, the guy from Northeastern you're racing on Saturday, they hurt too, but they're pulling faster. Right? Winning, truly winning, is committing in every single way. It's immersing yourself in something, because if you want to be great, that's what it takes.